We want to welcome you guys to L3 Perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Glenn Davis. I'm sitting here with my guy, Cameron Macias.
It's your boy, Killer Cam.
What's going on, guys? Hey, I want to welcome you back to the L3 Perspective. My name is Glenn Davis, as you know, and I'm sitting here with my guy, Cameron Macias.
Hey, Killer Cam, what's up?
And again, man, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Cam, I'm super excited about the guest today. We kind of go back years back, but, when you talk about entrepreneurship, when you talk about leadership, when you talk about family values, these are two individuals who I hold high, right? And they mirror that aspect. So, but anyway, Cam, go ahead and jump in, and I'll go ahead and turn the floor over.
Hey, I appreciate you guys joining us today. As always, for the listeners, subscribe, like, comment, let us know what you like, let us know what you don't like, hit us up, share. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the episode, they're going to let us know how you can reach out to them. Please reach out to them, let them know what you thought. And other than that, we're going to rock with it now.
Let's go. Hey, so Brian and V, welcome to the L3 Perspective. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So real quick, before we even dive into it, Brian, Lavanna, could you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I'm Brian. Just a regular person, right? So Brian, I met Glenn a few years ago, probably like 8-ish. Right now, we live in DC. We're business owners. We have kids, 4 girls to be exact.
Oh, wow.
I'm active duty military, just pretty much a busy person, but enjoying life.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And I am Lavanna, Brian's wife, but I'm also a mother. I'm also active duty military and just enjoying life.
Mm. So I'll start off the first question.
Yeah.
So you guys are business owners, you're active duty military, obviously great leaders, parents. How do you guys balance all of that out in your day-to-day life?
Ooh, together. Together. It definitely takes both of us. When I fall short, Brian is always there to pick up the pieces that's falling, or at least that I feel are falling. So it definitely takes teamwork and both of us doing it together.
She does way more than me. Put it out there.
I love it.
I'm not supposed to give up the goods, man. Like, nah, it's 50-50.
That's good stuff.
So what do you what do you guys do in active duty?
So I'm equal opportunity.
Okay.
So mainly processing complaints of unlawful discrimination, sexual harassment, that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm HR, human resources.
Cool.
Nice.
Glenn and I, I met Glenn through Brian, but we have a similar background in the military.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So what? So the businesses that you guys, can you guys talk about that? Like the business that you guys run?
Yeah. So she's actually wearing the shirt. So Same God Knew Me. It's,
Okay.
It's a brand. It's pretty much centered around like our lives, right?
Yeah.
And most people's lives. It's something that most people can relate to. So it's a Christian clothing brand. We sell T-shirts. We sell hoodies. We hats. Mainly just trying to give people a way to represent like how they feel or what they're going through in life at the time.
And knowing that it's every day, you have challenges all throughout life, but every day gives you a new opportunity to better yourself, to do better than you did yesterday, to do better than you did in the previous assignment, the previous, whatever it is, there's always a new opportunity. So it's just about bettering yourself.
I like it. That's funny that you mentioned, because you're right. Like when it comes to life, sometimes you have to hit that reset button, right? And so, the struggles that you had today, pretty much make up the strength you need for tomorrow, right? And so when that tomorrow comes, it's important to make sure that you are just resetting, right? Like brushing off of the struggles of the barriers of yesterday and just restarting again today. So yeah, that's cool. That's a dope concept. I like it.
And remembering that God is always the same, and that He allows us to trip up. You make mistakes, but you have another chance to just make it better. And if we strive to, well, I strive to be more and more like Him with every day, then hey, I'm winning.
Got you. So let's go back a little bit. Where are you guys originally from? Talk about that. So let me take a deep breath.
I'm pretty sure you can hear it in all of this accent. So originally from Alabama.
I'm from Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I've been in both them places.
Yep.
I like what part of Arkansas?
Magnolia. So it's closer to Louisiana than it is to Little Rock. Most people use Little Rock as like a reference, but it's closer to Shreveport than it is Little Rock.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Familiar.
Yeah, for sure. So, Brian and V, one of the things that I've always admired about you guys is, when it came to those family values, right? And so, with you guys, again, military, you're entrepreneur, you're business owners, you're navigating through life, and I know you guys have your own stories, right? For the direction of where you guys are going together, right? When it comes to family, there's a lot of our listeners who, their families may be super busy, right? And they just, whether it's chaotic or whatever the case is, how do you guys really balance out, keeping your family values intact while still moving forward together as a unit?
It seems like it just, I don't know, it seems very natural though.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to do with how we were raised. I, from a very young age, like I was raised with respecting people and giving people the same thing that I want for myself. So I want respect. I want you to value me and what I offer. So everything that Brian and I met later in life, but his values and my values like collide and create this space for our kids to understand that we both were raised the same with our parents, our grandparents, knowing that it took a village. It wasn't just our mom and dad, but those grandparents, those aunts, those uncles pouring into us. So those values that they've taught us, love and respecting others, just the way that you want to be loved and want to be treated, we definitely give that to our kids.
That's what's up.
Do you ever feel like sometimes those like values can struggle because of like the way society is these days with all the noise, like social media and then the, the stuff that, so like how do you guys combat that, or what do those conversations look like?
It's crazy because like our kids, we're pretty, I wouldn't say strict, but they probably would say strict.
You're like, you don't even know what strict is.
Do a lot of that stuff until a certain age. So like one of my oldest, she didn't get a phone until she was what, 12 years old. And then I think she got in trouble, so then she lost the phone until 14.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, we don't care what everyone else is doing. We're gonna focus on what matters most. So they don't get to do a lot of stuff that other people do. We don't. Being military and moving around so much, they don't get to do like staying the night over at a friend's house. So a lot of bad influence comes from that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of family time together, and try to block out what everyone else is doing and say, hey, we're not worried about what they're doing. Let's worry about what we're doing. Mm-hmm. We're focused on graduating, going to college, being a good citizen.
Yeah.
A lot of the other stuff that's working against you right now. So let's not worry about that.
And we feel that if we do that now, if we instill that into them now, like later on, they won't have a problem because the noise is not going to stop. Like all of these things are actually just going to get worse as they get older. So if we give them a great foundation now to continue to build upon while they're with us, that it won't be that hard when they are out in society alone and they're faced with whatever may come. Because we all know we still experience it at okay, 26, and but we still experience it in life, and I don't think that I would be able to, stand on who I am and who I was raised to be if my mom didn't separate what was going on in society from what she wanted us to do and learn um, within her household.
That's important. Like Cam and I talk about, how important it is to establish boundaries, even within your home, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to the kids, when it comes to life, when it comes to outside of the walls of your home, like how important that is. So, it's refreshing to kind of, have someone on a podcast or have people on a podcast that really align up with that, so that people can know that it's a real thing. Like we still live real lives. But it's important to establish those boundaries and don't worry about the noise that's going on the outside.
Now, I will say that it's not easy now. Like, our kids challenge us, like,
Oh, for
quite
sure.
often, and they want to know why. They want to know how they can get through the situations. Like, I think Roblox and Minecraft and all these things are so big. Our 9-year-old is like gung ho, like, can I please play? And all my friends are doing it, and we're like, no, ma'am,
Yeah.
no, ma'am. You cannot. When you are old enough, and we feel that, being in this virtual world, you be able to separate what's
Yeah.
There's from real from fake.
yes, then you can do it. But no, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Yeah. How has your what you learned to become as a leader? Because I know you guys are phenomenal leaders in the military. How does that translate into your home, or does it at all?
It does. But go ahead.
Do you have it?
Well, okay. So what I was going to say was, I don't know. I see it the same way as just how we raise our kids. Like, how I want to be treated. I make sure that I treat others that way. Like, I don't want you to beat up on me. I don't want you to talk to me sideways. I want you to respect me as a person. And I'm going to do the same to you. I think there's just a baseline for everybody. Like there's a human level, right? And we all start there. And if we stay there, then for me, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's the same. Even like we teach them. So in the military, I'll call anyone sir or ma'am. I don't care if you're an E1 or a general.
We say it to our kids.
So the kids, the same thing. Yeah, no ma'am, no sir. Just and teaching them the same thing. Don't ever think that just because you're in this position that you deserve all the respect and no one else does. If you call everyone sir and ma'am, it makes life so much easier. Like I call everyone sir or ma'am in the military. So when I'm talking to a general, I'm talking to an A1C, I never slip up.
Yeah.
Everyone is sir and ma'am. And we teach the kids the same thing. Treat everyone with the same level of respect, regardless of who they are. Homeless, if you think they're poor, if you think they're rich, like don't treat someone special because you think they're special. Treat everyone the same. And that's good. Don't treat them badly. Treat everyone with respect and life will be so much better.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So how long have you guys been in now?
I've been in 20 years.
14 and a half.
Okay, so
let me throw the half in there.
In the half. So is the plan when you guys eventually retire? Is the business, is that something that you will build? Like, what's the plan there?
It is most definitely grow it. Take the extra time that that we will have, that we've committed to our service to our country, to turn it into our business.
Yeah. And we've already, because we know that she's retiring soon, so we've already started like.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Yes. Right around the corner.
Wait, do we have to like not release this for a month and a half?
Yeah. So let's talk about the business, right? So entrepreneurs, let's continue. I want to kind of expand upon that. I know retirement is right around the corner. That next chapter is right there. Talk to us a little bit about the vision of you guys' next chapter.
Oh.
He like, where do we start?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like it's nonstop. Like I don't, Glenn. I don't draw a line between now and then. I'm just working on the business as hard as I can. And honestly, I got 5.5 years left. But if I can grow it to a point that makes it so difficult, and like if I'm just sitting here like, man, how am I going to sustain this business and my military career? That's a win. It seems
Yeah.
like it's a struggle, but it's actually a win. Most people would love to have that dilemma.
Yep.
So it's always been like grow it as fast as we can, as fast as we can. It's just that now we're getting to the point where we know she's going to retire, probably get another job, but it's like, hey, if we grow this business, now we can put this extra time into it because only one of us is in the military, and it's a position where I always tell her I can't just say, all right, you know what, I'm through today, because I still got more years. But if the business is growing and becoming demanding, she can do that. I'm through today. I'm going to focus on my business. So we just know that now we can put ourselves in a position to where if we need to, one person needs to walk away and focus 100% on the business, that it can be her.
And I guess I don't see it as like the next chapter just yet. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's more in this chapter. Although, like, there's a transition point for me, but for our business, like, we're still in this chapter. And we have a lot before we're ready to, move on to the next.
Yeah, I agree. I think that my last, chapter, my last page of my military career, I felt the same way. Like, it wasn't like it's a next chapter. Like, I felt like the transition was just because of the preparation prior to, like 2 years prior, it was just kind of a transition. And like, even now, being on leave for so long before I actually retired, like, it just feels like, hey, this is the day-to-day life. I get to wake up without an alarm clock. The family's there, homeschooling the kids, running the business, doing the podcast. And so I definitely feel you with that.
Do you guys plan do you guys plan on expanding the business then, or like adding different products, or are you going to keep it to the t-shirts and the sweaters and the hats and stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't. So honestly, so this is about it for this business, because right now, I'm building another business. So this is our business together, but I have two more business partners, 4 of us total though, and we're building another business that's going to be this is going to kind of play a part in that. If that makes sense. So it's kind of like helping build a whole person. It's a coaching business. So I'm not an established coach, but I have 3 people who are.
Yeah.
With them. So and I'm working on getting those certifications myself, so that we can just grow people. I don't want to just sell people products.
Yeah.
I want to grow people.
Yeah.
And then as they grow, now this shirt makes even more sense to you. So that's how I want to do it.
I'm glad you tapped into that, because I was going to ask you, I was like, Brian and V, like, you guys have your hands in many projects, and like, I know this isn't just it. Like, share your story. So I'm glad you expanded upon that a little bit. So that's good. That's good. So what's next? So for you, Brian, with you having 5.5 years left, right, in your career, what do you feel like you need to do in order to keep that balance, right? Like from making sure those boundaries stay in place within the family household, like communicating with the wife and communicating with your other business partners, and then your own, your clothing brand and all that. Like, how do you, navigate through all of that?
Man, it's crazy, but like I said, I think you said it, just sticking to those principles, man, like everything. And it's crazy how much like running a business falls in line with being a military member and being a parent.
Yeah.
There's so many things. Like, I'll tell you right now, like some customers are they're really not the nicest people.
There's a few out there.
Some military members are not. So you just learn like a whole new level of patience. From the military, you get a new level of patience when you have those new recruits. As a business owner, it's a new level of patience when dealing with customers who want their product like right now. You know how that goes. And as a parent, you have kids, and that's a new level of patience. So it's constant growth. And having all 3 of them going at the same time actually makes it, I would say, easier, because I learned one lesson at work and I applied in business. I know how I don't want to be. I had some experiences in the military that tell me, hey, I don't like being treated like this, or this wasn't the best approach. So now as an entrepreneur, I'm like, I'm not doing that, because I know how it worked out. I know how I felt as a subordinate. And then I have teammates at work. I know how I felt as a teammate. So now that I have business partners, I want to treat them this way, because I know what I didn't like before. So it's all like related.
I
And
love it.
I'm hoping that, as I transition, that a little bit more balance is present.
Mm-hmm.
That I can support Brian a little bit more than what I probably have been able to in the past. Where there's a pull and tug, I'm just hoping that there is no more pull and tug. It's more of just
Mm.
being able to support each other a little bit more, because it's tough being like meal to meal. It is tough,
Yeah.
tough.
Hmm.
But I think having one person to step back and provide a little bit more of what we've probably been needing and desiring for
Hmm.
a little while, I think it'll work out and balance out a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm super excited for y'all too,
I
man.
think you do a whole lot with the kids though. Like it to me, it feels pretty balanced. Like you said, like help me out more, but like a lot of the stuff with the kids, like they girls. I don't do the hair. Like I don't do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So she does all that, and it's like, cool. Let me do your hair. Let me get this right, and then your dad's gonna drop you off.
Yeah.
Drop off is the easy part. So it's kind of balanced. But for her, that's the hard part because it's 15 degrees. She don't want to go outside.
Yeah,
So
right,
Yeah.
I'm
right.
like, cool.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
So it just works out.
No, and I guess what I'm saying is like, so for both of us to be able to get our degrees,
Yeah.
like we both have our masters. Brian working on his doctorates, and we literally had to, he take a class, I take a class,
Yeah.
and that's the balance. And
Yeah.
and there were some times that Brian, if I'm taking the class and Brian's like, I'm enrolling in the class, and I'm like, you can't, because what about the kids? Like,
Yeah,
we both are gonna have homework, like we can't do this.
somebody
And
got to feed
I
them.
would like, what's that?
No, I said somebody
I
got
would
to
get
feed them.
really
Yeah,
Yeah.
upset
yeah.
because I felt we were like off balance. We couldn't, like, it
Yeah.
just wasn't balanced. So we literally had to like pack deal, like if I'm in class, you're not, so
Yeah.
you can take up the slack and I'm able to focus. So that's what I'm talking about
Yeah.
when I talk about balance. He'll be able to go to school. I'm done. Like, I'm not going beyond, but he'll be able to go and not have to take a break because of me. So just those little things that really matters to him, that he has, things that he set aside, he'll be able to
Yeah.
do, and I can,
Yeah, that's what's up.
And that's that like that's that communication piece for us. So
Hmm.
we got 5 kids in my house. So
Oh,
I
okay.
have 3. So I have 3 and then my girlfriend has 2, and so when my kids are here the 50% of the time, we came up with an agreement where I'll handle like dinner and stuff like that. But
Okay.
when the 3 aren't here, like that's on you. And so that's like our agreement, because that like there are things that she's doing, real estate on the nights where all 5 of them are here. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna take care of things so that you can do your real estate thing. But on the nights that they're not here, I need you to do these things so that I can like catch up. So kind of like you talked about, is like that
Yeah.
balance thing. But I'm also
Yeah.
that person where if I don't see something being done, I just do it. And so like I had to eventually be okay with like, hey, remember it's Wednesday, so dinner's on you.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh
And
yeah,
it's tough.
it
It's
is, because you
tough.
feel guilty. You're like, oh, but and I think that's just that communication piece, and she ain't never made me feel guilty about it, but it was like more internal, where I'm like, oh, she gonna get mad at me, and then she's like, oh yeah, cool, oh yeah, you're right, I gotta figure it out.
But I think that's
Yes,
where
is communication.
yeah, you guys mentioned that word right
Yep.
there, and so many people don't realize how important, or how important that word is, and having that in a relationship, right? And so
Yeah.
whether you're just in a household as a whole, but communication is super 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 key, and again, you talk about leadership. It just applies in generally every area of your life. So
Yes. Yes.
Dude, so kind of as we start to wrap up, please, tell people, where they can find you guys, your brand, where they can find your brand, so they can, I'm sure we're gonna have some listeners who like it. I have someone in particular who I know will probably end up ordering something. So, but tell them where to find you guys so they can reach out to you, connect with you, potentially become customers of yours as well.
Yeah, brand wise, everything is same God knew me. So
Okay.
On Instagram is Same God Knew Me. Facebook, Same God Knew Me. Website, SameGodKnewMe.com. So it's kind of hard to miss it. And then everyone look at the shirt, right? So someone's wearing the shirt. Now, most people text, they say, "Hey man, they want to know where I can get this shirt at," and I can't think of the website. I'm like, the words on the shirt. That's it. So just add .com.
Okay. And do you guys do LinkedIn or anything else?
Yeah, so we're both on LinkedIn. Brian Corbin, Lavanna Corbin. We're on Facebook. We had a joint account for years, and then when we started doing the business thing and running Facebook ads and everything, I was like, look, I need my own page because there's just too much going on this page.
Yeah.
So but first name, last name, everything.
That's cool. That's cool. So, any on life, love, or leadership? Any last minute words to any of our listeners from you guys?
Ooh.
Spicy.
So, my biggest piece of advice is just focus on you. I think all too much, like we try to focus on what other people are doing and where we should be in life, and the true happiness comes from just focusing on your own pace. Right? Set your own goals, not based on what someone else is doing, based on what you want to accomplish, and move at your own pace. And I feel like when I started moving at my own pace, I actually started moving at a much faster pace than I was when I was trying to move at someone else's pace. It sounds a little weird, but hopefully it makes sense. Like,
It makes sense.
Moving my own pace. So
It makes
focus on your
100% sense.
Love it. Love it. V, anything from you?
Yep. So I'll center mine around love. I am a big squishy. I love love. So I would just say, love yourself to be able to love others, and also while you're loving others, allow others to love you.
I love it. I love it. Well, Cam, I'll wrap this thing up.
Yep.
Brian, V, it was an absolute pleasure having you guys on. Thank you for just giving us a snippet of Brian and V, right? You guys bring a lot of value to people, and I'm super excited about you guys as you go through your transition, as you close out one door, you continue to open up others, and just continue impacting and inspiring people, man. So love you guys, and y'all have a good one.
Too.
Appreciate you. See y'all later.
All right.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
you.
All right, don't click off yet.